Stu, today
Yes.
we're going to talk about how to get paid to build your list because we have the ultimate solution for every entrepreneur, author, speaker, trainer, and coach, and it's called a Tripwire. Now, I know instantly off that hook, you've got some questions for me, Stu.
I
What are
do.
they? Okay.
Well, when you have a list, you got two things. You got customers or subscribers. Which is better?
So, which is better as far as having a customer or a subscriber? Which would you rather have? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Which
Okay.
is better?
A customer is always better than a subscriber. And I'll tell you why. From my experience, a customer is worth anywhere from 10 times to 100 times more than a subscriber. When I send out emails to customers, my engagement is higher, my conversion rate on new sales is higher, my satisfaction rate, my spam complaint rate is lower. Everything about a customer is better than a subscriber. So if I had to make a choice between a subscriber and a customer, I would take a customer all day long.
So tell me this: which is more valuable? 100,000 subscribers or 1,000 customers?
1,000 customers is always worth more than 100,000 subscribers. And again, it comes back to this. A subscriber is a subscriber. They may buy something, they may not buy something. They're taking up space. You're trying to build a relationship with them. You're expending a ton of time, energy, and effort trying to get them to convert, as opposed to a customer who's already proven that they've got a credit card, that they're willing to use it with you and not refund, and that they are willing to pay for what it is that you have to sell. So, do you want to convince somebody who is on the fence all the time or may have just signed up and is totally ignoring you? Or do you want to build a relationship with somebody who's already spent money with you? Because this comes back to the thought process that the basis of everything that we do comes down to leads, sales, and relationships. And so most people do it this way. They get a lead, try and build a relationship, try and make a sale. That's a mistake. That is a waste of time. That is the hard way of doing things. Okay. What we want to do is get leads and make sales and then build relationships with the people that we've made sales to because they worth more, they stick around longer, and it's all around a whole hell of a lot more fun than trying to convince somebody all the time to buy something.
That's a good point. Well, I have a combination of both. I have a lot of subscribers on a newsletter, but also have a lot of return customers that receive that newsletter.
Mhm.
Where's the balance? Where's the happy medium?
So most people would ask the question, well, you asked me, what would you rather have, a list of buyers or a list of subscribers? Um, I'd rather have a huge list of subscribers and a huge list of loyal buyers.
Okay.
But what you got to look at it from the standpoint of these people who are in the subscriber pool. Oh my God, I can't even sell subscriber. S is subscriber. Okay. Customer pool is going to be smaller. As long as you treat the customers, I'm going to say this and you might think I'm wrong, but as long as you treat the customers better than the subscribers, as long as you let the subscribers see that there's a whole lot of benefit to being a customer, and the old thing of nobody buys the cow if the milk's free is true. If you give too much to the subscribers, they'll never become a customer. And people say, oh, you need to be a super servant. You need to over deliver. Nope. What you need to do is be smart. You need to understand that subscribers get enough. And I've heard it said a whole bunch of different ways. Tell them what to do and why to do it, but sell them how to do it. I've also heard it described as useful but incomplete, and they have to buy to get the rest of the story. Whatever it is, you can't give so much to the subscribers that there's nothing left to buy. So you got to understand how your business is structured. If you're selling software, then maybe you can give away a whole bunch of information that somebody else would have to charge for if they were in the information publishing business. So if I have software that, and hey, whoa, wait a minute, Stu, we have software. So if I have software that helps you write a sales letter, then I can probably give you a training on what makes a great sales letter and how to write a sales letter, because I'm going to sell you software that's going to do it for you. But if I didn't have that software, then I would have to teach you what makes a great sales letter, why it's important to have a sales letter, and then I got to sell you the course on how to actually create the sales letter. So it's understanding where you are with your value ladder, where you are with everything. But the bottom line is, okay, it's great to have a big list of subscribers as long as you have a system for turning them into customers. If you don't have a systematic approach for turning them into customers, then you're basically just getting off on the size of your list.
Yeah, well, tell me this. Can you define Tripwire for me in that context?
Okay.
Because I think I missed it.
Okay. Well, that's because I haven't defined it yet.
Okay.
So over here we have subscribers. And here we have customers. So a tripwire, just like a lead magnet, here, perhaps it would help if I zoomed in. So subscribers, you get a subscriber by offering what's called a lead magnet. And that's basically offering something of value in exchange for their contact information, their email, their social security number, blood type, phone number, whatever. To get a customer, we use what's called a tripwire. I've called it a catalyst product, a low entry level product. But the gist of it is that it's almost like a lead magnet and a full blown product had a little love child on the side in Barbados. Okay. And so notice I didn't say dumpster baby. They had a little love child.
I think that's a better term.
Where what? Dumpster baby? I agree.
No. Love child.
Oh, okay.
It's beautiful.
So like for $7, the tripwire would be like a lead magnet times 3. Okay. It doesn't have to be 10 times better than a lead magnet, but it's real good, solid value that helps them get a result. It's bite-sized. But the bottom line is that instead of getting it for free, they got to pony up $7, or let's say 7 to 17. It's a good tripwire price. The reason why this is better is because these people paid money. What do we know about them? They will buy, they have a credit card, and they will buy from me, and they're interested in enough in the topic to buy and buy from me. That's a very different person than someone who sees something free on Facebook and says, okay, I'll give you my porno email in order to be able to get it. The email that I use for things I ask for free, that I grab it and then I never check that email. Now, normally people don't use their porno email with buying something. You get their real email. And I'd say that tongue in cheek with their fake email, but that's another reason. You get their real email address. Now, you've got a customer. What you do with them from there is another episode, with follow-up and all that other stuff. But that's basically what it is. That's a tripwire defined. It's a love child of a lead magnet and a full-blown product.
Okay, I got it. So how about how have you used this in the past?
So, as you guys know, we are a software and training company. We're not strictly training, we're not strictly software. For the last 20 years, we have been a software and training company. So, one of the things that I've done in the past, just a quick example, we had a little piece of software called hashtag scraper. And back in the day when it was hard to do hashtag research, we had a little piece of software that would go out and scrape hashtags off of Instagram and Twitter. So we tested out doing this for free, giving away for free. We tested out selling it. We actually did better selling it than giving it away for free. So we tested a bunch of prices, but let's say we were selling it for $7. Okay. We had an immediate one-time offer for another piece of software called the Tag Post Wizard, which basically would do what Hashtag Scraper did. It would research the stuff, but then it gave you the opportunity to do your posting right there from the piece of software. So I think we sold that for $27 or whatever. Okay, so it was a convenience thing. And then we sold them into the precursor to copying content, which was content marketing scripts. Sorry. We sold them into content marketing scripts, which ultimately has become copying content. So we used a valuable little piece of software that did one thing. Then we upsold them something that did expanded features. Then we sold them into continuity of software. So this worked extremely well for getting us customers. Now, do we still sell it? No, because there's a bunch of changes in the marketplace and other stuff like that. But bottom line,
Algorithms.
yeah. So, but that's one example of how we used it very effectively. So if you think about it, if you want to sell software, this is another thing. People do what they're going to do. People who buy software buy software. People who buy books buy books. People who buy training buy training. So when you're thinking about your Tripwire, sell them what you're going to sell them. In other words, don't start out selling training and then end up trying to sell them into software continuity. You should, in my experience, if you're selling software, sure, there can be some training with it, but make sure you include some software in there too. So it's like if you ultimately want to sell bags and bags of apples, when you sell the fruit basket on the front, the assorted fruit, make sure there's some apples in there, if that's making sense. Maybe I'm not explaining that as well as I might, but this is, I've seen some people do some wild ass stuff on the front end, then on the back, it doesn't make any sense. So that's my point.
Okay. So I mean, I like this low end entry level, but can you make money doing this process? I mean,
can you make money with $7 stuff?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's why I just showed you, step one is your tripwire. Step two, you got to have an OTO. Maybe you might have, step 1B, you have a bump. Okay. In fact, I'm going to draw this out for you with some real numbers. I'm not going to tell you the exact, what we're doing, because it doesn't really matter.
So basically you're calling this a tripwire funnel.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. You got to have the funnel part of it. Otherwise you ain't going to make any money.
Gotcha.
So people will look at, oh man, they're making money with $7. Nah, ain't making money with $7. But I will show you, these are real numbers from a recent promotion. Real numbers. Okay. Like real numbers. This is not BS. In fact, let me grab my little notes here just to make sure I do it exactly the right way. Here we go. Okay. Real numbers. So front end product, $7. Order bump of $27. And then a one-time offer of $97. And then we're still working on the continuity angle on this. Okay, but this was just a test to see if we could make this work. So front end, 45 sales. of those 45 people, 20 of them, so almost half, took the order bump at 27 bucks. Right there, like, hey, would you like fries with that? And then the OTO, we had 6 people take the OTO. So 7 times 45 is $315. 27 times 20 at the 64. Okay, so 680. I got these numbers right. And then 786. The total came out to 1781 was the total that we brought in. Now, did we make money?
Yeah.
No, you don't. You don't know if I made any money, Stu.
I mean, it looks like it.
No. The number one question you'd be asking is, how much did you spend on ads?
Oh, good
Yeah. Yeah. I'm good looking. But people don't just show up that I don't know to give me money.
point.
Okay. So in this case, we spent just over $1,000 in ads. Now, did we make money?
Yes.
Yes. If I didn't have the back end funnel, did we make money?
No.
No. Okay. If I only had the order bump, did we make money? No.
Mm-mm.
By
No.
having the entire funnel, that's how we made money. So now what we're doing, this was a giant test. Now that I've done this test, what do you think my next step is with this Tripwire funnel?
Get it out to more people.
Right. And the fancy way you say that is it's time to scale
Yes.
to see if those numbers will hold true over other stuff. The other thing that we have to test is can we translate this into continuity? Because this was a specialty topic that doesn't necessarily bring people into copying content. So that's what we got to test. But these are real, verifiable, hand on a Bible examples of what's what. Okay.
That's really cool. Hey, you want to hear how I used a $0 Tripwire to have the best Black Friday, Cyber Monday I've ever had in my life?
Yeah.
Yeah. So remember that book you bullied me into writing?
Yes, I do.
Well, I segmented my list, my customers,
Uh-huh.
into all the Spec Ops candidates, right? People who've bought Spec Ops stuff.
Okay.
Sent them the free ebook, right? In
Okay.
that, of the free ebook of basically Spec Ops candidate mistakes, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And in there, I used the Black Friday coupon,
Okay.
right? And it blew up. I sold more books this weekend than I think I have ever in a 3-day period.
Holy crap.
Yeah, and I sold. I wasn't even trying to do like PT club stuff, like membership stuff, and I didn't sell anything on that weekend. But it was pure books to a point where, like, I'll probably pay off my truck this week.
What?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a lot of books. It went really well.
Yeah, I just realized that I did my math wrong, or I need to check. Anyway, I did the math wrong,
Yeah, I see that.
but I'm still ahead. Okay,
Right.
so even with the math wrong, this is still great.
Sure.
And I think I figured some stuff wrong. Anyway, but I know those numbers are right. The 45, the 20, no, I am right because it's because it was a bump. Anyway, I was righter than I thought because don't matter. This is why even if you majored in history, got a D- in statistics, you can still make money on the internet even though you can't even do second grade math. But I think these are the numbers. I don't know. They still work. They still work great. Would you would you hand somebody $1 if they hand you back $1.50? Hell yeah.
Every day.
Twice on Sunday. Okay. Would you send somebody $10,000 if they'd send you 15 grand in the morning and the afternoon? So that was a terrible example, but I was trying to do it in real time on the fly. But those are the real numbers. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. So how about this question?
Uh-huh.
Where's the tripwire fit in the value ladder?
So the value ladder is typically, down here is free. Then you have like entry level. So this might be a book. Then this might be a course. And this might be group coaching. And this might be one-on-one coaching stuff. Okay. So the Tripwire, I guess I should zoom in so you can see me better. So the Tripwire is going to fit in here. Okay. Could be on the front end of a book, could be a Tripwire. I mean, Copywriting Secrets, 100,000 copies sold all over the world. Free plus shipping book funnel is basically a Tripwire. Okay.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty much in this area right here is where it's going to be on your value ladder.
Cool.
That answer your question?
Absolutely. Now,
okay.
Do you have any software that helps us with making these tripwires?
Well, Stu, I do.
I have not seen the Tripwire Genie.
There ain't a Tripwire Genie.
Okay.
A Tripwire can be created through a process. And so let me outline a process for you. Now, we already talked about what a Tripwire is, right? A Tripwire is something that is bite-sized, but very valuable. And it helps people to get a specific result. So it's focused on okay, here we go. Tripwire, it's focused on your avatar. It's around a result they really want to achieve or a problem that they want to solve. It is bite-sized and it's got high value. Okay. Those are our characteristics of a really good Tripwire. So we'll use your avatar of the Spec Ops candidate. Okay.
Okay.
And we'll figure out the result, create something bite-sized, something high value. Now, one way we can do that with the genies, and we'll demo this real quick, is a 3-step process. How many steps, Stu?
3.
Okay, looked like you were giving me invisible bird. So first thing you do is you use the checklist genie to create a checklist on how to get a specific result. Then we're going to use the super blog post genie to create a chunk of content about each item on that checklist. Then we are going to use the call to action genie to create a call to action for the next step at the end. Okay, and there's other stuff you could use in there. You could use the bio genie, the about me bio genie to create something for the end. And there's a bunch of other stuff you could do to really tart it up really, really fast. But what we can do is, let me show you how that would work in real time. So I'm actually going to show my screen. And so this is inside of copying content. That's the event promo one. We want the checklist genie. And so we're going to load your avatar, which is probably, nope, not in here. All right, so we're going to put in Spec Ops candidate, and we're looking for a checklist. So we're going to do something on how to crush your fitness test. Okay. Our
Sounds
topic
good.
is crush your fitness test. You want to give it a timeline, like how to crush your fitness test in 8 weeks?
Sure.
Okay. He's like, sure, dude, I'm just along for the ride. So category of items on the list. This is going to be how to, and how many items. This is where it's interesting. It's funny
Let's.
how if we tell it to do 10, it'll give us 10 steps. If we tell it to do it in 5, it'll do it in 5 steps. So let's do 5. Okay. Or
Yeah,
you
there's
tell me.
five. Yeah, there's 5 events on the fitness test. So let's see. We'll go with 5.
Okay. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to hit them all. So I got the extended topic checklist, the topic and audience checklist, and then the topic checklist. And what I'm looking for is, okay, so down, and I'll show you the method to my madness. So this one, the extended one, set a clear goal and create a plan, prioritize consistency and commitment, focus on progressive overload, incorporate a variety of training methods, and monitor progress and make necessary adjustments. Does that sound close at all? Or Stu,
Oh
you
yeah.
shrank. You shrank.
You can't see me.
Easy, shorty. All right. He's hike challenge. He's doing his squats in between. Are you lowering your desk, or are you just having fun jumping up and down because you're so excited?
People can't see me. I think they're just seeing yours. I was just sitting down for a second.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Sorry, I did full screen. Duh. Susan's looking at me like, Jim, duh. Um, now she's shaking her head.
Sorry to distract you.
Okay, so now, does that one look good? I mean, this one, establish structured workout plan, set specific measurable goals, incorporate high intent hit, focus for nutrition, prioritize recovery and rest. I mean, which one of these looks better? Closer to what you want to do? I mean, you can edit it if you want,
Oh,
but
sure. Sure. No, I
so
like this. I think
the
that's,
second one?
yeah, the second one looks
Okay,
really
well,
good.
okay.
And I like the fact that I could put into the actual events into those 5 segments.
Okay.
So yeah, I got an idea already. So you should
Okay.
send it to me, Jim.
Nope. For $1. Okay. So now we were doing this third one. All right. So set a clear goal. I'm just going to divide it up a little bit better so we know what we got. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to copy this, and you would just do what I'm about to do 5 times. So
Okay.
we're going to come over to the blog post Super Genie. Actually, let me open that up on a new window. All right. So now we're going to load our avatar again. And you want a short, medium, long, or extended post? I would say long.
Let's go long.
All right. So post content category is going to be educational. And what's the topic of the blog post? Bam. It's what
Oh,
the it's what
single one is right.
it's what the single item on the
First
thing
step.
is.
First
All
step.
right.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we want to change this immediate results at crush fitness test in 8 weeks. Okay. And I would put on this step 1.
Ah.
Okay. That's what I'm thinking would be, because what we want to do is have it do the steps. So at the end, we're still promoting getting to and through buds. So you're driving them to another article.
Right.
So writing style, which one do you want to do?
National Geographic.
All right. Overall tone, inspirational, insightful, informative. Which one do you
Yes.
normally do? Informative?
Yeah, I usually do that one.
Okay.
Yeah, informative.
And then perspective, second, talking to them. Disc
Yes.
style, I would say we want to do DC.
Sure.
So we're going to tell them what to do. So now, and I'm going to save this. So it's Stu Tripwire Fitness Test Section 1. And you're just going to want to save each one of those. So now I'm going to have it write not 1, but 3 different blog posts, or actually 2, sorry. So as an aspiring special operations candidate, you understand the importance of being physically fit. First step is to set a clear goal, create a plan. What does crushing it mean? Once you set the goal, create a detailed workout. Additional workouts, rest days are important. With a clear goal and a well thought out plan, you can start your journey towards crushing your fitness test in 8 weeks. Okay, so let's look at this other one. Are you aspiring? First step is goal in mind. Remember to schedule. So one of the things that this is doing is it's creating that section. Now, what I want to see, and again, this is now we're getting into almost like into genie hacking, but what I want to do is take that second one. I'm gonna output this. All right, so I've got it.
Right.
But the one thing I'm a little concerned about with this particular topic, trying to do this step by step, is that this thing is going to almost like start and stop and be repetitive.
Oh, yeah, it could be.
So, but I have a solution to that.
Okay.
But I want to see what it does. So all I'm going to do is change that because
Right.
everything else is the same. And so I want to see how it does, because if it does what I want it to do, it's not an issue. If it does what I think it might do, then I have a little hack.
Okay.
So congratulations on taking the first step. Consistency is key, blah, 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 blah. So I would probably have to chop that out.
Yeah.
And now we have, okay, so step 2, consistency is key, blah, 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 blah. But now it's like prioritizing eating and recovery and all this other stuff. It's repetitive. Let me show. So if it's doing this, what would I do instead? Well, I would come over here to the paragraph genie. All right. And I would build it a little bit differently. So I'm going to load my avatar. All right. And there ain't anything there. That's cool. All right. So purpose is create the first section in my report. All right. What do I want to write about? Actually, watch this. Nah, I want to go back and let me grab that.
Is this the first section?
Yeah, because I want to show you from
Step 1.
Yep. So step 1, general writing style and tone is educational and inspirational. All right. How many paragraphs do we want? Let's do 6.
Okay.
All right. We'll do DC, famous copywriting style. We'll use your boy Gary. So now we're just going to do the first section. But I want to show you as far as assembling the thing. I think this might be a better choice for this particular topic. All right. So step 1, set a clear goal and create a plan. In order to crush a fitness test, first step, define what crushing means to you. Once you've defined it, detailed plan. It's important. Plan, you set a clear goal, create a plan, direction and purpose. Ultimately, setting a clear goal and creating a plan is the foundation of success. Okay. So now I'm going to save that. So this is step 1. Now I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to grab this one. And we're going to do create the second section in my report. Step 2. 6. Everything else is going to be the same. God, I need more coffee.
Now this is cool. So instead of the super blog post genie, you decided to build this with the paragraph genie.
Yes, because the blog post genie is more about creating a chunk of content that has a beginning, middle, and end. Whereas
Yeah.
the paragraph genie is about creating a chunk of content that can be wedged
Right.
into other stuff too. So like this in step 2, you know, this is all talking about, consistency and commitment, remembering there'll be days you don't feel like sticking your plan. So this
Love
is
it.
all about
Yeah.
consistency and commitment. And so now
Whereas
when
the blog post genie is going to give you an intro, body, and conclusion.
and it was migrating over into other areas that didn't
Ah, that's good.
fit.
No,
And
no, no.
so
Makes sense.
now what I'm and we'll just do one more, but so now it's like, okay, now we're into step 2.
Damn.
So, I could do those on I can't spell, but very easily now I could build this thing out. And so step 2, prioritize consistency. And just to verify that it's doing what I want it to do, we're going to do one more
Okay.
and focus on progressive overload. And if I'm going into too much detail for you folks, that's okay. Um, but now it's like, okay, third section in my report, step 3, build. And I mean, I could do this a lot faster if I wasn't narrating it.
No,
But
this is good.
now it's like, okay, so what did we do? We took the output from the checklist genie, which was all based on our result that our avatar wants. Then we brought it over here and look at this. This is all about that. And it's not
Smart.
talking about other stuff. Maybe, progress. So now we're just using each of the steps to create awesomeness that we can assemble into a report. And then, of course, what we would want to do is after we had assembled all these parts into the report, then we would want to take a minute to go through it and make sure that we added maybe a story or, put your soul into it. But right here, man, I mean, we've got the beginnings of a nice report that is beyond a free report. Now, if you pour your soul into this a little bit, and we've talked about that before, what does that mean, pouring your soul into something? But the way to separate your stuff from the crap that ChatGPT spits out, and the way to make it yours is to put your soul into it. And soul stands for stories. Stu asked me a story about, hey, where have you used one of these before? Or can you give us some real numbers? Okay. Opinions. Everybody's got one. Love to share. Scares the crap out of Nancy because when I start talking opinions, she sees my following going down, but I don't care. Unique perspective. And then all around, how can you just breathe life into the piece? Pictures, formatting, making it nice. Everybody just wants AI to kick the thing out and like, you take a pill and wake up the next morning 50 pounds lighter, sleeping next to a supermodel. That's not how the real world works. But I just showed you how by using a combination, we call it genie stacking as opposed to genie hacking, which is where you use a genie for a purpose it wasn't intended. Um, but now we took a checklist, we used the paragraph genie. I could assemble that thing probably in less than 10 minutes, throw in some stories and some other stuff, and sell that thing for $7. Throw in some other stuff. Another good one, and we don't have time to go through it, but another good one would be to use the course curriculum genie and the lesson plan genie and come up with a little course that you could teach in an hour, and then take that course and sell the video, sell the and you can play games with, like, you could sell the transcript and then do an order bump for the video, or sell the video and do an order bump for the transcript. And there's all kinds of stuff that you can do. But a course makes a great tripwire. And
Yeah.
copy and content.ai can help you come up with an outline, even all your slides and everything else. So it's good stuff. I don't know if y'all are getting value or not, but would love to see some more reactions on there, or some comments in the social media. What's up, Renee? What's up, Patricia? Who else we got? Robert's here, Carlin's here, Vicky's here, C-Ray's here, Robert's here. Nice. Okay, Stu, what other groovy questions? Did that answer your question? And the other thing, and I didn't show you, you could use a call to action genie to sprinkle some stuff in there.
No, that's a great plan. Something I would consider doing after using multiple genies is put it all through the rewrite genie.
You could do that
and see what happens. Just see how it doctors it. It takes out a little bit of the repetitiveness sometimes that can occur.
Yes.
And anyway, there's just an idea.
Do that in sections. Absolutely.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Well, tell me this: how do you get people's eyeballs on your tripwires?
So getting eyeballs on a tripwire is the same as getting eyeballs on anything else. When it comes down to traffic, everybody gets kind of nutsy over this and thinks it's some kind of giant voodoo thing.
Well, I guess a better question would be, where do you put your tripwires?
Well, your tripwire goes up on your website.
Well, I know.
I mean, your funnel, you build your funnel, it's in your funnel, whatever funnel builder software you're using,
right, is
where it goes. And so once you've got it set up, your tripwire, your TWF, got to have your acronym. It's acronym Wednesday. Your TWF, there's basically 4 ways to get traffic. You can buy traffic, you can borrow traffic, you can trade traffic, or you can own the traffic. Now, owning the traffic is where everybody wants to be. That's where we want to be, which means we have somebody's email address or their physical address. That is truly owning the traffic. You don't own your social media following. You don't own the likes. You don't own the followers. Facebook owns those. LinkedIn owns those. Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it owns those. Instagram owns those. You don't own that. It's like a famous politician. You didn't build that. You don't own that.
Right.
The only thing you can ultimately own is a physical address. But even then, what you ultimately are trying to own is the relationship with the customer. Because you can have their address, and if they don't give a rat's catoot about you, don't matter. You could have 100,000 emails and doesn't matter.
No.
Okay. But that relationship, where you want to be, send somebody an email about your new tripwire. Why? Oh, Jim, but I already have them as a customer. Right. But this is how you can run them down other lanes. And it can start with your own list with a tripwire.
Nice.
So trading is where you say, hey, you want to interview me? I'll interview you. When you interview me to your list, I'll just tell them about my stuff. And when you interview you to my list, we'll tell them about your stuff. Does that sound good? People do it all the time.
Sure.
Borrowing traffic is basically just an affiliate program. Send me traffic and I'll pay you later for anybody who buys. And then buying traffic is ads.
Right.
It's basically ads. And the game there is, can I spend $1 and get at least $1 back at some point? And the big game is just fighting for customers, getting a customer, because where money flows, attention follows. People pay attention to the stuff they spend money on. So you want to have customers over subscribers. So that's how that's in a nutshell, the big picture. That's how you get eyeballs.
Nice.
As far as speed, this is the fastest way, except for one. This one. Everybody thinks that buying ads is the fastest way to get traffic. It's not. It's the fastest way to scale traffic, But the fastest way to get traffic is with your own list. The second fastest way to get traffic is with somebody else's list. There you go.
Nice. So I don't know about you guys, but I've learned a lot about tripwires today.
Oh,
At
good.
least the term and how it's actually used. But what else is there? What else should we know about tripwires?
Real quick, what you should know about tripwires is that, oh, let's do this like a 60-second video just for grins. Something else you should know about tripwires is that it's a testing game. It's a numbers game. It's a game of, let's see if this works. 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 And fail fast and test small. Don't go blowing $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 on a test. You don't have to. Don't go blowing weeks coming up with the tripwire itself just so you can test it. This is all about testing quickly. Test fast, fail fast, succeed fast, and scale. It's like the stock market. Cut your losers, run with your winners. That's all it is. It's just a giant testing game.
No, that's a really cool way to put it. So yeah, makes sense.
This is not an investment advice, and your results will vary.
So last question. What should or what's coming up next with copyandcontent.ai?
So some cool stuff coming up with copyandcontent.ai. We're actually doing a revamp of the site, adding a bunch of features, reorganizing it. That will be done come hell or high water, and the creek don't rise too far. But our goal is to have this done no later than the end of the year. That's our big push this month. And also, we're looking at coming out with a couple more membership levels, including an agency level. And got the Write Your Book Challenge coming up in January. And so lots of really cool stuff coming up. So if you're not a member of copyandcontent.ai yet, you should be. And so head on over to copyandcontent.ai and join up before we raise the price again, which we have done 5 times. We got so many cool new genies in there, training every week, training every month, every opportunity for you to be supported by the community. And I will just end it with, if you like ChatGPT, if you've messed around with ChatGPT and you're liking it, if you like messing around with their little GPTs and all the other things that they're doing, you're going to absolutely love what we're doing in copyandcontent.ai, because we can help you use that same technology to get better results faster. So would love to have you in there with us. If you got value from this, make sure you leave a comment, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you do all the things that they tell you you're supposed to do. But the best thing you can do is to become a customer, because that's where you're going to get absolutely the best and most value, including one of the things that Stu and I do every month. We do a little show called Genie Hacking, where we show you how to do really cool stuff with the genies that God and nature did not intend, but Stu figures out and other people figure out how to make them sing and dance and do stuff I didn't know. And so I just come along for the ride and have other people show you how they're using the genies. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. Genie hacking and stacking.
That's right. Rack them and stack them. There you go. All right, Stu, Susan, thanks for being here with us, and we will see you all soon. Bye-bye, everybody.